A widow, consumed by guilt, refuses to leave her home, but when a retired nurse risks everything to help her, a forgotten letter reveals a truth that changes everything. The rain tapped softly against the kitchen window, a steady rhythm that matched the ticking of the old grandfather clock in the hallway. Margaret sat at the table, her hands wrapped around a cold cup of tea, the string unbroken. The house was too quiet, too empty, too full of memories. Every corner held a ghost, her husband's favorite armchair by the fireplace, the half-finished puzzle on the dining table, the scent of his aftershave lingering in the closet. 7 years had passed since the accident, but time had done little to dull the ache. She had blamed herself every day since. If only she had gone with him. If only she had insisted he stay home. The doorbell rang, shattering the silence. Margaret didn't move. Visitors were rare, and she had no interest in company. But the chime persisted, followed by a soft, insistent knock. With a sigh, she pushed her chair back and shuffled to the door. Standing on the porch was an elderly woman, her silver hair pulled into a neat bun, her face lined with kindness. She held a small box in her hands. "Margaret Carter?" the woman asked, her voice gentle. Margaret hesitated. "Who is asking?" "I am Eleanor Whitmore. I was the hall nurse the night your husband was brought in." Margaret's breath caught. She had never met any of the hospital staff that night. The police had delivered the news. The hospital had sent condolences. But no one had ever come to her door. Eleanor held up the box. "I found this in the archives. It is yours to keep." Inside was a worn envelope, the paper yellowed with age. Margaret's hands trembled as she opened it. A single sheet of paper, covered in her husband's messy handwriting. "If you rereading this, I didn't make it." Margaret's vision blurred. The letter continued, but she couldn't read further. The words swam before her eyes, her heart pounding in her chest. She had never known this existed. Eleanor placed a hand on her shoulder. "I thought you should have it. He wrote it for you." Margaret looked up, tears spilling over. "But why now? Why after all this time?" Eleanor's smile was soft, understanding. "Sometimes, healing doesn't come when we expect it. But it finds us when we're ready." For the first time in years, Margaret felt something stir inside her, not just grief, but a flicker of something else, maybe hope. And just like that, the rain stopped.